You know how you only need to learn to ride a bike once and then it just becomes second nature, then you don't forget it for the rest of your life. Well, we could say your social behavior works just like that. And that means that there was a time back in the days when your social behavior was not like this. You were not shy and introverted and reserved. Truthfully, as a baby, you are very extroverted and charismatic. You are very loud and expressive. You laughed with all your body, with every piece of your body, when something made you laugh. When you were sad, you just cried. You made a lot of noise. You didn't care about the social norms, about upsetting others. You were more arrogant in a way as well. But that was the healthy version of you. But then, as time went on, you developed this thing we now call personality, which unfortunately is nothing more than a set of behaviors that work. What we do is we split test our authentic tendencies, and obviously some part of us just gets accepted, but other parts get rejected. And this is just a Russian roulette for some parts of us. Some make it, some don't. And for a lot of us, the part that's expressive, the part that's more loud and social and so-called extroverted just gets stuffed down. And we adopt this as our personality. We just see it as this is who I am. I'm introverted, I'm shy, I'm reserved. There is no other way, it's impossible. I want you to picture a land of grass, a huge land of grass. Let's say you move to the countryside and you just have to start walking this land of grass every single day. It's full of grass perfectly and some spiky plants as well. The first day you must choose a path to walk down. And you just, let's say this is the land, you just choose the left path from this point to this point. You start walking it, and as you keep walking every single day, the grass disappears, right? Because it just gets smashed under your feet. The spiky plants disappear as well. And that just becomes your routine. That becomes your comfort zone. That becomes something very normal that you do day in, day out. And eventually you adopt it as part of your identity. It is something perfectly normal for you. And that is your current identity of being introverted and shy and reserved. But there is an infinity of other paths you could take in this land. So let's say that you decide to take a new path. And imagine that this land of grass with the path that's perfectly carved out for you, that's smooth and everything on the left side, but one day you choose to walk a new path on the right side. Well, in years' time, the previous path in the left side just grows grass and plants, and it just becomes part of the land. And the new one becomes a new smooth path for you to walk. This is how our behaviors work as well. If we take action consistently on a new way of behaving, on a new pattern of thoughts and cognition, then the previous one just gets forgotten. And the new one becomes comfortable as well. But now you've taken the decision that the previous path is not good anymore, right? Your ankles just hurt, it's pretty bumpy, it's pretty muddy when it rains, and you want to change it. But you have an infinity of options. You don't really know which one you could choose. Like, why choose this one on the right and not one in the middle? It's overwhelming because now you can be whatever you want to be. But let's just say your instinct tells you to go somewhere here on the right side. Your instinct, like something calls to your instinct there. And you start walking that path. When you take your first steps, it feels very uncomfortable. It feels like it's unnatural. This is not who you are. And obviously it does, because it's something new. This is how it feels with every single new thing we do. If you go ahead and play a new sport where you are not that skilled and other people around you, your teammates, your friends are more skilled, it just feels like you're an imposter there. You get a bit of that imposter syndrome. It's natural, it's normal. But your lizard brain will just jump in and start poisoning your mind with ideas like, we should just go back, it was much easier on the previous path. We knew every single bump there. We walked that path for thousands of times. We know every single puddle and how to jump over it. We have defense mechanisms for every single snake that might pop out of a hole. We know it perfectly. Why continue walking this spiky new path that's pretty tough and unpleasant? But now you're at the crossroads. What you could do is listen to your lizard brain and never make a change, or embrace the uncomfortability of walking the new path until it just becomes smooth again, until you forget the previous one even existed. And this is a big, big illusion we all fall into. It's a psychological trap that we have to be aware of, which is the illusion of infinity. When we start walking a new path, when we start doing anything new in life, it feels like it will always be tough. But truthfully, it's just in the moment. Truthfully, even the previous path, your previous personality, something like some time ago, it felt tough to be like that. Some time ago, it didn't feel natural, but it became natural as we waited, as we gave ourselves time and patience. And it's just the same. The same will happen with this new path, with this new way of being, this new sport we're playing. In every single domain, it just works like that. We have to be very, very cautious of our lizard brain just believing that an infinity of pain awaits us, because it's not like that. And we know it, we consciously know it. You are completely free to do whatever you want to do. You are completely free to choose any new personality you want and start walking a new path. Whenever you want to walk that new path, you don't need to wait for anything. You could just say that you need to be a millionaire, you need to be a parent, you need to be jacked in order for you to start being like that, because you need confidence. Maybe that's what you believe, but truthfully, you will just get to that point, and maybe, just maybe, those accomplishments will give you permission to start being more brave and walking that new path. But maybe that's not even gonna happen. Maybe you will find a new achievement that you just want to fulfill. Maybe you will set a new goal for yourself, and only after you accomplish that goal, that's when you will give yourself permission to be more social, to be more outgoing. And some people never give themselves permission. Some people always keep being so shy, so reserved, and coping, literally coping. So as you could wait for yourself to accomplish certain goals and give yourself permission only then, you could also give yourself the permission right here, right now. Like, you don't have to wait for anything. All you have to do is give yourself permission, take the courage, and embrace the initial uncomfortability. It's just the initial uncomfortability. It will not be like this forever. It will be much better in the future. And if your authenticity, if your authentic urges appeal to you to be more social, to be more outgoing, then why not obey them? Then why struggle in just being defensive and playing it safe all the time, which is a behavior that got you nowhere anyway? You regret it. You regret so many moments where you were just shy and reserved and you didn't take opportunities, they just went past you. So you need to take the action, to take the courage, and you have that power, really. You're much more brave than you think you are. You just need to embrace a bit of uncomfortability and to fight that instinct of the lizard brain that just wants you to do nothing, to stay in your comfort zone forever. And truthfully, there is no piece of content that will make the change for you. There is no YouTube video or podcast or book that will make a change for you. These things can open your eyes. I hope this video managed to open your eyes to some extent. But ultimately, it's you who has to take the action. It's you who has to put in the work and to go through the trenches for a while. Ultimately, it becomes familiar. It becomes easy. And at that point, you are just free.